Look at the leaf. It is pathetic. A tiny breath of wind determines its destiny. If the wind blows east, it goes east. If the wind blows west, it goes west. It has no weight. It has no say. Now look at the rock. The storm screams at it. The ocean attacks it. But the rock remains. It is indifferent. It is immovable. Which one are you? If someone insults you and you get angry, you are the leaf. If someone ignores your text and you get anxious, you are the leaf. If a random comment on the internet ruins your day, you are the leaf. You think you are free, but you are a puppet. You have handed the strings of your emotional stability to everyone you meet, to your boss, to your partner, to the waiter who is rude, to the driver who cut you off. They pull the string and you dance. This is a disgraceful way for a man to live. To be offended is a choice. It is an admission that the other person has power over you. The Stoics called this state apatheia, not apathy in the modern sense, but the state of being unshakable. Today on Philostrion, we are going to turn you into the rock. We are going to teach you the Stoic art of not taking things personally. We are going to build an armor so thick that the arrows of the world will shatter against your skin. Law number 1. You are not the center of the universe. The reason you take things personally is that you have main character syndrome. You think everything that happens is a reaction to you. Someone is rude. They hate me. Someone is late. They don't respect me. This is ego, and it is a lie. Here's the brutal truth. People are not thinking about you. They are thinking about themselves. When someone is rude to you, it is rarely about you. It is about their bad day. It is about their headache. It is about their trauma. You are just the background character in their movie. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly." Why? Not because they want to hurt Marcus, but because they are human. If a dog barks at you, do you take it personally? Do you say, "My God, this dog hates my personality"? No. You say, "It's a dog. Dogs bark." Treat rude people the same way. It's an idiot. Idiots are rude. It has nothing to do with your value. It is just their nature. Stop inserting yourself into their pathology. Law number 2. Consider the source. Before you get offended, look at the person who is offending you. Do you respect them? Do you admire their life? Are they wise? Are they virtuous? Are they happy? If the answer is no, then their opinion is mathematically worthless. Why would you care about the judgment of a person you wouldn't trade lives with? If a madman calls you a fool, it is a compliment. If a loser criticizes your work, it is a sign you are doing something right. Epictetus asked, "Does a man take it personally when a feverish patient insults the doctor?" No, the doctor knows the patient is sick. Most people are sick. They are sick with envy, sick with ignorance, sick with misery. Their insults are just symptoms of their sickness. When someone attacks you, do not get angry. Get curious. Look at them with pity. Oh, look at this poor soul. He must be in so much pain that he needs to vomit it onto me. When you view them as patients instead of enemies, the offense evaporates. You don't fight a patient. You observe them. Law number 3, refuse the gift. There is a story about the Buddha. A man came to him and screamed insults at his face for an hour. Buddha listened calmly. He did not react. When the man was finished, Buddha asked, "If you buy a gift for someone and that person refuses to accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The man said, "It belongs to me." Buddha smiled. "Exactly. You tried to give me your anger. I refused to accept it. So it remains with you. An insult is a gift. It is a package of poison. But you have to sign for it. You have to agree to receive it. If you don't react, if you don't get upset, you have refused the delivery. The poison stays in their hands, and it burns them, not you. This is the ultimate power move. When someone tries to trigger you and you remain calm, you are reflecting their chaos back to them. Silence is the best answer to a fool. By not reacting, you are saying, "Your words are not significant enough to change my emotional state." Don't sign the paper. Let them keep their trash. Law number 4, the binary filter. The Stoics dealt with insults using pure logic. When someone criticizes you, run it through a binary filter. Option A, is it true? Option B, is it a lie? If it is true, why are you angry? They just stated a fact. If someone says, "You are bald," and you are bald, that is not an insult. That is an observation. If someone says, "You made a mistake," and you did make a mistake, thank them. They just helped you see reality. Seneca said, "If anyone tells you that you have made a mistake, thank him for it. If he is right, you are the better for it. If it is false, why are you angry? They are simply wrong." If someone says, "You are a purple elephant," do you get offended? No. You laugh, because it is obviously false. So if someone calls you stupid or dishonest, and you know you are not, treat it like they called you a purple elephant. It is an error in their perception. It has nothing to do with you. So if it's true, accept it. If it's false, ignore it. In neither case is there a reason for anger. Anger comes from insecurity. Anger comes when you are afraid that the insult might be true. Kill the insecurity, and you kill the offense. Law number 5, widen the gap. The problem is your reflex. Stimulus arrow reaction. Insult arrow anger. It happens too fast. You are operating on animal instinct. You need to insert a Stoic gap between the stimulus and the response. When something happens that triggers you, do not speak, do not type, do not act. Freeze. Take 3 seconds. In those 3 seconds, ask yourself, is this worth losing my peace of mind over? Viktor Frankl said, between stimulus and response there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. The weak man reacts instantly. The strong man responds deliberately. Imagine you are a king sitting on a throne. A peasant throws a rock at you. If you jump up and scream, you look like a fool. You lost your frame. If you slowly wipe the dust off your shoulder and continue talking, you look like a god. Use the gap. Slow down time. The silence you leave after an insult is louder than any comeback you could invent. Law number 6, starve the fire. There are people who feed on drama. They are energy vampires. They provoke you on purpose because they want a reaction. They want to drag you down into the mud with them. If you get offended, you are feeding them. You are giving them your precious energy. The Stoic is an economist of energy. He asks, what is the return on investment, ROI, of getting angry at this person? The answer is usually negative. You lose peace, you lose focus, you lose dignity, and you gain nothing. Seneca advised, the best revenge is not to be like that. Don't engage, don't explain, don't defend. Indifference is the cruelest weapon against an attention seeker. When you ignore them, you deny their existence. To a narcissist, this is a fate worse than death. Starve them. Save your energy for your mission, not for the mosquitoes buzzing around your head. Law number 7, the view from the grave. Finally, if you still feel offended, zoom out. Zoom out to the scale of death. Go to a cemetery. Look at the gravestones from 100 years ago. There are people there who were hated. There are people there who were insulted. There are people there who were gossiped about. Where is that noise now? Where is the disrespect they felt? It is dust. It is silence. You are going to be there soon. The person offending you is going to be there soon. In the face of eternity, this little conflict you are stressing about is microscopic. It is a joke. Do not waste your limited heartbeat on petty grievances. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly, soon you will be ashes or a skeleton, and a name or not even a name. You are a dying man arguing with another dying man on a sinking ship. Does it really matter who has the better cabin? Does it really matter who said what? Let it go. Not because they deserve forgiveness, but because you deserve peace. You are too close to the end to waste time on nonsense. Be the rock. Let the water crash. Let the wind blow. You remain. Ascend.